All right, guys, so for this video, we're gonna look at common ways, 3 common mistakes when people are learning to pass the guard in Jiu-Jitsu, and then some ways to clean those up so you have a little more success. So the first one here we're gonna look at is a Toriando style pass, where what you're looking to do is move yourself around into the side of your opponent. And there's different ways people will do this. They'll do kind of a push-pull, and they'll be basically using the weight of their hands to come around the legs. Now, what we typically see people making a mistake with this is throwing the legs to the side and then running around too wide. Okay, so when you run around too wide, your partner can use their hands to frame, and then the legs will just end up spinning back in. So as I start moving around, I'm constantly getting stopped by the hands, and the legs are just coming right back in. And the root of the problem is that you're not getting control of the hips. You're not getting to the inside. So you're getting to the outside, which is good, but then you're not coming back into the inside and trying to get your leg in front of your partner's hip. So when you do a Toriando style pass, you want to make sure as you start coming inside that you get tight to the hip and you start turning to face your opponent's hips. That way you can drive and get pressure on the hips, and you can start getting down and controlling the lower body. But if you just run around to the side, you're constantly going to get blocked by the hands, and the legs are going to keep spinning underneath. Okay, so what your goal would be is to try to get your shin and your leg in front of your partner's leg, and then you're trying to get their hips away from you. So if I stay here and Adam's able to move his hips away, he's constantly going to be bringing his feet back inside, and I'm going to be constantly getting put back into guard. If I'm able to get to the inside and frame heavy and get tight on the hips, this way I'm going to really kind of win more of that inside battle, and I'm going to get inside the legs. It'll be difficult for the legs to come inside. So you're constantly pushing the leg away and trying to get your hips inside. So I'm almost turning and coming more in instead of just constantly going around. So you have to realize that you're getting around the legs. You're getting around the legs, then you're coming back inside. So it's almost like a right turn instead of a circle. If you keep making a circle, your partner can also spin to their belly and get out that way. So that's the first common mistake we see. The second, we're gonna look at the double under pass, which is a great guard pass, but it's a pass that people will be a little too loose with. Okay, so when they come underneath, they'll just try to throw the legs to the side. And that'll give your partner so many opportunities to escape. So that sit-up escape Adam did is one good opportunity. He could also roll out all together. Okay, so as I go to throw his leg to the side, he'll end up basically just using that momentum and then spinning out. Or he'll use hip movement and just kick back in. So I throw his leg and his leg kind of posts, and then he's trying to get around. He's just constantly reopening his hips and getting his legs back in, and it's a lot of energy for me to just use my arms and constantly try to lift his legs and throw his legs into to the side. Realize that I'm trying to get my weight on my partner. So you see now I'm tripoded up. I've got his knee on my shoulder. I have my forearm really tight to his hip, and now I have the pressure of my legs onto my partner. Now, if you watch what I'm doing with my chest, it's really important. I'm actually keeping my eyes and chest up. Okay, so I'm kind of arching, and that way I can really use my legs. If I'm looking down, now I have too much weight in my hands. There's not a lot of pressure on my partner. I don't have very good balance here. He could push my elbow. He could really off balance me really easy. So when you're passing the guard with the double under, and this is for a lot of guard passing, you want your chest up. You'll see the logo of my shirt is up. That way I can use my legs and I can drop my hips and I can push forward and I can keep my eyes up. That way I have better balance and I'm not looking down and falling forward. Okay, so you don't want to be like looking down and just trying to throw the legs to the side. You want to be using your legs and your hips to be heavy, and then you can kind of spin on your chest and you can get to the side and control the hips instead of just throwing the leg to the side and ended up getting blocked and the partner's leg scooting right back in. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 is the knee slice pass. Okay, so what we'll see, let's get a little bit closer. So with the knee slice pass, really what people will get into a good position here, and then they'll just basically slide too wide, right? And your partner will just spin back in. Because the problem is that the arm frame is still there, okay? And I'm just sliding past, and the arms block me and the legs spin right back in. So even though I feel like I've gotten past the legs here, within a quick move, my partner can recover easily and get the legs back in. So it's kind of the same problem we see with the other two passes. It's almost like a rushing the pass, not really understanding how to control the hips, and end up getting blocked and put right back to where you came from. So it's much better to slow it down. Okay, so on this one, I'm slowing it down, I'm getting tight, and I'm getting my knee to the mat, and I'm turning and I'm facing my partner again this way. So I'm turning back to face the hips, and that way I can start pummeling with my hands, get better control of the hips. You see this right arm is nice and tight to the hips. I've gotten to the head with my left arm. So that was, I came in and I got into a better position with my body where I can kind of hand fight and get myself into a better position. Now when I slide through with control, I have a better control of the lower body and the hips. So my partner can't just keep pushing me and sliding away. Okay, so once again, once I get to this position here, this is where the battle begins. So you notice how I start getting myself kind of turning more towards the hips. I try to get this hand to the ground, I slide around the head. Now I can slide and get into a better control position. Okay, so those are 3 ways that you can improve your passing by staying tighter and understanding that you need to control the hips prior to getting in control with your partner's head. So if you just throw the legs and try to dive the head, you're gonna get blocked by the arms and the legs are gonna keep spinning inside. Okay, so those are normal problems that we see, but some ways to clean it up.